Consistency in your writing practice is more important than writing every single day. Your writing might take place on a weekly or even a monthly cadence. That's totally fine. All of that being said, though, there is some benefit to, at least for a time, focusing on writing every single day, especially if your writing practice is lacking some consistency. I don't think that you need to write every day. There's a lot of people who espouse the virtues of writing every single day. But I do think becoming more consistent is a good thing, and if you are shooting to write every single day, I'm going to share some tips with you in this video for how to do that. I'm going to share some of the concrete things that have helped me write more consistently. These are the major things that you need to consider if you want your writing to happen every day. First piece of advice I have here if you want to write every day is to think about the where and the when. The difference between people who are mainly aspirational about a goal, they think about doing something and they want to do it. The main difference between them and the people who actually achieve the goal often comes down to practical things like thinking about when and where something is going to happen. There's not some magical discipline or motivation that people like this have. It's just that when most people try to commit to doing something every day, they never consider how they're actually going to do it, when and where it's going to happen. They just kind of try to blindly go off and do it. If you want to write every day, the first question that needs to be answered is when during the day are you going to write? How long are you going to write for? What are the goals of any given writing session? How will you keep this time free from distractions? If you want to start doing something in your life, that invariably means you need to stop doing something else. Every hour of your day is spent doing something, even if it's a complete waste of time. And if you want some of that time to get devoted to writing, then something else needs to go. If you want to start getting up earlier to write, then that means going to bed later. Or no, earlier. How does that saying go? Early to bed, early to rise. Yeah, earlier. There is likely something you're already doing in your day-to-day life that will need to get shifted around if you want to start writing. A lot of people feel like they just waste time and they're not really doing anything, but that's a bit of a myth. Something has to go if you want to start writing, and that might involve some hard decisions. Another consideration about the when is aligning your writing time with the times in the day where you are most creative and productive. I think if you want to write every day, this is something that you can't overlook. Everybody has different parts of the day where they are most in the best mood to write. Some people, it might be first thing in the morning. Other people, it might be in the evening. Some people, it'll be like 3 a.m. or the middle of the night or something like that. In an ideal world, you would align your writing sessions to those times where you are most productive. That just makes sense. That's the best way to get the most done. Now, this is a luxury that most people do not have. If 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon would be the best writing time for you, but you have I don't know, a job or something, then obviously you won't be able to write in that time. And I understand that. So that means that you need to find the best, most creative time in the day that is also available for you to write, where you have commitments that can be shifted around, or you just don't have commitments through that time and you can actually devote that time to writing. This might not be the absolute best time of day for you to write, but if you've got a job and kids or school or other commitments that normal people have, then you maybe won't be able to write in the best time for you. Get as close as you can, because writing in your most productive times will help you be, more productive. Another thing to kind of consider here is that a lot of people, myself included, find that there are times that are great for thinking and ideating, but not necessarily actually writing. That ideas and thoughts and creativity kind of comes at one time of the day, and actually being able to focus and sit down and write comes at another time of the day. For me personally, I don't write very well in the evenings. I find it hard to sit down and focus on it, but I do come up with a lot of ideas, and that's when the creativity and the thinking machines seem to be most active for me. but it's not a time where I do a lot of actual writing. And this is one thing that I'm trying to add into my process, is using this evening time in a better way to capture more of those ideas so that I can apply them in my actual writing sessions. That's something else that you might need to think about. My next piece of advice, if you want to write every day, is to start small. Going from 0 minutes of daily writing a day to like 8 hours of writing time every day is going to be very hard for most people. Going from 0 minutes to 20 minutes of writing every day is probably a lot more achievable. Honestly, starting small with like 10 minutes or 100 words or 2 sentences, whatever it is, just getting in front of your project and doing some amount of writing is honestly one of the best ways to go. You're not going to just do 10 minutes or 100 words every day forever. The idea is to start with a small, very achievable goal that will build some of the habits and attitudes that will allow you to be more productive in the future. You're going to quickly discover that one of the hardest parts about writing is actually just sitting down to get started. And committing to just a small amount of time writing is a good way to practice that skill. Committing to doing something is a skill, and you can build that skill by committing to something. Even if that something is tiny, even if it's just a tiny commitment, you're still working on the skill of committing to something, of getting started, of getting in the habit of doing something every day. Even if it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes or just writing 2 sentences every day, if you make that commitment and stick with it, move heaven, earth, and the sofa to keep writing every single day, even for that tiny, tiny little amount of time, that will build up the skill of committing to things and will allow you to commit to longer, more productive writing sessions in the future. The last point I'm going to talk about is what I think is the biggest actual roadblock to anybody who wants to write consistently. This applies even if you just writing in general, but especially if you're trying to write every single day. And those are the self-critical voices that will spring up in your own mind whenever you try to pursue something like writing every day. Honestly, the biggest obstacle between you and writing every day is you. Procrastination, laziness, lack of confidence in your skills, those are things that come from you. They are problems that you create. Yes, absolutely, there are external things and things that people need and stuff that can come up in your life that can prevent you from writing. But let's be honest, is all of the potential time that you could be spending writing taken up by these external things? Does this happen every single day? Maybe it does happen for some people out there, but for a lot of people out there, the thing that's preventing you from writing consistently is you. But you are not these things that come from you that prevent you from writing. You are underneath all of these negative voices. You are not the part of you that gives up. You are not the part of you that procrastinates. You are not the part of you that doesn't put the work in. I know this is true because I bet if I gave you the choice between being a lazy, binge-watching, procrastinating person or a super productive, motivated, driven, committed writer, you would probably pick the latter. From a clear mind and when you're making the objective decision, you would choose to write. All of this stuff that prevents you from writing is not really you. It's stuff that you have to get rid of. Underneath everything, you have the desire to write every day. You have the desire for your stories to become a reality. The negative thoughts and the self-doubt and the fear that prevents you from being that person is not you. It is a part of you, and it is a part of you that needs to be dealt with. Everybody struggles with this. I struggle with this more than you can possibly imagine. That's why I'm talking about it in this video. It's something that I have, continue, and probably will forever continue to struggle with. The most important thing if you want to overcome this stuff is recognizing where these problems are coming from. Understanding that it's a part of you. Understanding that it's your thoughts. It's these self-doubt, this critical voice inside your head that drives you towards perfectionism and procrastination and not putting the work in. That is the biggest thing you need to overcome if you want to write every day. Speaking of overcoming things, I need to overcome the fact that I did not write a conclusion to this video. So there you have it. If you have any tips that have helped you write every day, please share them in the comments down below. Hey, if you write a comment, that technically sort of counts as writing today. If you want to see more stuff like this, you can check out all my other writing advice related videos and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.